check out the only game where being close to your family will rip you apart from a molecular level. It's Universe Sandbox. I did it again.
Did he name the Earth Vin Diesel this time?
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Florida.
zoomed in, paused immediately.
He literally did Vin Diesel.
Florida. Okay? Super important. Now you'll notice the Earth here has been renamed to Vin Diesel. Now normally I would just name the moon family, but I just realized that this version of the world that I created doesn't have a moon, so we're gonna have to spawn a moon in. The problem is I have absolutely no idea off the top of my head how far the moon is supposed to be from the Earth, but that's good, because today...
Definitely not that close. It's way further out, way further out. Like, you could fit every single planet in between Earth and the moon. That's how far away the moon is. Like, every single planet in our solar system, anyway.
Today, we're going to be reducing the orbit that the moon goes around the Earth just to see what it does. I'm curious at what point the Earth stops functioning. Like, I've made the Earth smaller, and I've made the moon bigger, and I've made the moon orbit faster, and I've made
Which we will get to those videos at some point, but for right now, we're just starting.
The Earth spin faster. But I've never just made the moon go closer and closer over time in order to determine how exactly it murders everyone on the planet. Well, it appears that Google tells me that the moon is 238,900 miles from the Earth. Actually, not that bad. I expected it to be a lot farther. What is that in kilometers? Because Universe...
Hey guys, before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It would help the channel out very much. Thank you.
Sandbox's main metric here is kilometers.
That's true.
Okay.
Math break. Oh, God.
In case anyone was wondering, that's 384,400 kilometers. So let's see here. 308.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Can we not go right to AU? All right, you know what? How far is that in astronomical units? 0026. Thank you. We have an answer. I'm not gonna lie, if it suddenly just made it so I could do this in kilometers, I would have closed the entire game down.
I would do the same.
I would have done the same thing, to be honest. The game is being ridiculous, man.
Right about. We're gonna make this absolutely perfect. Boom. Right there. The moon is prepared. I'm sorry. It's not the moon. It's family. Now,
family.
as we can see, right over here, Vin Diesel's composition looking very good. I can bring up the different data charts so that we can observe.
Everything seems normal, obviously, because the moon is in the right place at the moment.
As Vin Diesel's temperature remains mostly consistent. The orbit of the moon looking fantastic.
Indeed it is, so far.
The ice on the surface of the planet not depleting rapidly. Isn't that lovely? Now, the very first thing that I'm going to do is decrease the orbit of family here so that it can actually be in kilometers and not in astronomical units. So what we're going to do.
Yeah, true. I mean, the Earth is 1 astronomical unit away from the sun. We know that.
Is
eventually its orbit will get bigger, though, as the sun evolves into a red giant.
We're going to go ahead and grab our
Because when it becomes a red giant, it'll start losing a lot of its mass. So.
tools, and we shall move family closer. There we go. Now we've shaved off about whatever it is, like 25%. It is now 00.21 AU from the Earth. I'm sorry, from Vin Diesel. Now I'm going to go ahead and slow things down a little bit here, and we'll let them zoom off.
I'm assuming not much will change, though, because it's only a little bit closer than it was before, so.
Into the sunset.
Oh, and while we're on the topic of the moon being far away from Earth, technically, the moon is only going to get farther away as the solar system ages. Like, it's literally going farther away from us every year, so.
Together, you can see how close they are. Don't worry.
You're still there, right, Nightmare?
Yep.
Okay, just make sure.
You're going to be getting a lot closer. Now, one thing I've
very much so.
noticed, and I kind of assumed this would happen, is that the water depth is going up pretty quickly because the moon's
Yeah, but not by much just yet.
Getting closer, and so I assume the like tidal pull is getting stronger, and thus at any point when the moon is pulling the tides around, the overall depth is getting deeper in that area. I don't know, gas pressure seems fine. I honestly don't know if having the moon closer to the Earth is going to mess around with that.
Huh, interesting.
Now the cool part is that normally what happens is the water gets deeper because the poles melt. And it
My goodness.
floods the entire planet, but not this time. Right now, the poles and the ice thickness is staying exactly the same. We're just yanking the water around by like the scruff of its neck.
I mean, seriously, it's going everywhere.
Now, normally on Earth, about 92%
And it's only gonna get worse.
of the population is alive at any one given time. What? Yeah, okay. 92.4. So for the most part, everyone's fine. It's no big deal. Nothing has
Yeah, not yet.
really happened yet. We're gonna go back over here to family. Actually, you'll notice the orbit changes quite a bit. Like the distance.
Yeah, that happens in real life too. The moon's orbit changes a bit, and sometimes it's closer to us, sometimes it's farther away. It just depends on where it is in its orbit.
To Earth right now, it kind of like swings a little bit. So at its farthest, it's like 200,000 kilometers away from Earth, but eventually it goes down to 90. All right, well, let's move it in a little bit here.
Crazy, ain't it?
Let's move it this distance right now. Let's put this at 150,000.
By the way, I can tell you real quick how the moon was formed. It was formed, well, theoretically anyway, as far as we know. The moon was formed when a planet named Theia, like this was like billions and billions of years ago, when the solar system was in its infancy, but there was a planet named Theia that crashed into Earth. And the fragments from Theia became the moon. Or at least most of them did. It was, I think when it was a separate planet, it was like similarly sized to Earth. I think that's how it was. But then it crashed into the Earth, and the fragments coalesced with each other and became the moon. So
How about that? There we go. That snaps right in.
nice.
We'll go ahead and slow things down. Bring up our tables here, and go. There's family.
Oh, jeez.
Family's coming to the barbecue. Vin Diesel might not want family to come to the barbecue because it's totally possible that family is eventually going to take Vin Diesel's house and like attach several clusters of C4 to it.
Dear God.
I would do
water
that.
depth
Yeah,
continuing
of course you would, you weirdo.
to go absolutely
Weirdo.
ballistic.
Yikes!
It is. Go ahead
Yikes.
and speed things up here. Here we go.
Getting fairly close now.
I was kind of curious if there was a point where the water depth would finally cease, because it's gone up quite a bit in the last few months. Now, the temperature of the
Yeah.
planet is very stable, okay? Not much going on here. Getting a little colder as time goes on, but that's because we're in winter. I was kind of curious. I wanted to, like, do a little graph of the surface temperature.
Good idea.
The surface temperature of the planet is kind of just dropping, like, permanently.
Oh, I see that now.
Like, if I speed up here, there it goes.
Yeah, there it goes up a little bit, but then it goes right back down. Like, oh my God, what the hell?
Now it's coming back up. Okay, then it
And then
drops.
it just goes down even more. Oh my goodness.
And then it comes back up. And
And
then
then it
it
goes down even more.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, dude.
drops. And then it comes back up.
And it
And
goes
we're
down even
still
more.
dropping. What is going on?
I know.
How come
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the hell?
Having families slightly closer to you, look at it. Look at the frost continue to work its way down. Is it because there's less water on the entire planet to like insulate the different parts of the because now more of the water is being pulled to the middle of the planet. So there's less water
Interesting.
up here by like, Canada or New York. And so everything is just frosting. Okay, we finally,
Yeah, I can see that. My goodness.
flatlined a little bit here. It's
Yeah, that's good. So we're not going any lower than this for right now, but I'm assuming it's only going to get worse from here.
It has leveled off. And we've leveled off at negative 33 degrees Celsius for the standard
It's
temperature
still going down, but not nearly as much as it was just a minute ago.
on the planet. I also have the heat signature over here so that we can see, what the temperature.
All right, so the max is 80 degrees. Not bad, but the minimum, or the lower end, is on negative 123. That's not good.
Is in good old Florida.
Wait. That's Greenland. Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, Greenland is in the, deep freeze right now.
And in case anyone's wondering, about 65 degrees Fahrenheit in the
Which is not bad.
middle of summer. Well, let's go ahead and bring it in. I mean,
I know Florida can get really hot during the summer, so.
what could go wrong? We'll do 90,000 kilometers now. We'll bring it down by like another 20%, 30%. There we go. Now again, I don't know at what point family will just like give up and just smash into the earth and kill us.
Who knows, it might even reach Earth's Roche limit before it even gets to the Earth. Because honestly, that very well could happen. I forget exactly where the Roche limit is in respective to Earth, but if an object gets close enough, it will rip itself apart due to Earth's gravity or some shit. I don't know.
All. Now you can see, as the years have gone by, we've stabilized on the surface temperature. But again, now that we've moved it in closer, this might continue to drop. How's everyone doing? Because it's getting pretty cold.
The temperature literally just spiked up out of nowhere. That's crazy.
We've lost 1%. That's it. Just
1%, that's crazy.
1% from losing like an overall surface temperature of whatever, like 5 degrees Celsius. 100%, that 1% was in Florida. They cannot survive if it's not over 85 degrees at all times.
Oh my god. I don't think that's very true, but sure, whatever you want to believe in, buddy. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Listen, I've seen it get down to like 35 degrees here in Florida, and people thought that it was the apocalypse. Like
That shit's crazy.
people were coming outside in body armor. All right, let's go ahead and really move things along here. What just happened to the surface temperature? We've got an unusual situation here, folks. The surface temperature of the planet has
What? Okay, wow.
now seemingly recovered quite a bit. Like, look, now it's at 18.5
Okay, so the mid-range is around, it's still in the negatives, but that's alright.
in the dead of summer. Okay, that's fine. All right, it's gonna cool off a little bit in winter, but let's see.
77 degrees is actually not that too. It's not too bad for the maximum, but still, when Greenland is in the deep freeze still though.
Where it gets to now. Now we're gonna go back into summer and right around 18
Oh, and right here in Asia. I don't know my geography that well. I'm sorry, guys, but right here is really, really in the deep freeze as well. Obviously, down here is going to be in the deep freeze. It only makes sense. Greenland kind of makes sense too. So, but Canada, oh my god. I mean, I guess they're in a deep freeze as well, technically, but not nearly as bad as Greenland.
5. The liquid depth is getting pretty bad. We're at like 9,000 meters compared to where we started.
It's only going to get worse, buddy.
I find it interesting how the surface temperature of the planet doesn't really fluctuate at all now. So odd
That's crazy.
thing. The ice thickness is going up as time goes on, like quite a bit.
Yeah.
But overall, life likelihood, still totally fine. We've only lost 0.1% of the Earth's similarity. How about that? All right, family, no problem. We'll go ahead and grab you and we'll move you in a little bit more. Now, where is it at its absolute closest? Okay, at its closest, it's like 25,000 kilometers away.
All right, not too bad, but still getting a little bit closer to Earth's Roche limit. It looks pretty close, actually. Look at that.
So considering before it was supposed to be like, what was it, like 300 something thousand kilometers? It's like 0.0026 AU originally. It is pretty close. One of the things you can actually do is fly down to the surface. Just looking at the sky over here. Just kind of chilling out on the surface of the Earth. Wanted to see if
Where's
the
I wanna see
moon
it.
looked any bigger. In case you're all wondering, that's
Oh.
what the moon currently looks like in the sky. So if you were just
Looks a lot closer than it was before. Nice.
here, hold on. Let me turn off all the labels and the trails. If you were just hanging out outside and you looked up at night, that's how big the moon is right now.
Wait. It's not entirely locked anymore. That's weird. Actually, never mind. It's probably just because he had to spawn it in himself instead of, it already being in the system.
That is kind of concerning. When you
Oh yeah, that is pretty concerning. That is extremely concerning.
can see with the naked eye all of the topography of the moon, but that's still not close enough because the Earth is still in one piece. I just wanted to kind of see how the orbit was doing. So what happens if I change the orbit like in mid-orbit? Well, the problem is the number's moving pretty fast. I'm gonna take this 90,000 and move this down to 70,000. Yep.
Okay, that did more than I thought it would. It's right on the edge of Earth's Roche limit too.
Pretty much equally just brings in the orbit all the way around. All right, let's not go that far yet. Let's do 80,000. Like I said, I want the destruction of Earth to happen, over a period of time. Not really so much like a type of thing where, the moon just crashes into it immediately and obliterates all mankind. I like that the life likelihood has gone up. So what does the moon look like right now when
That's
it
crazy.
is in its absolute closest orbit? So like right about,
Still very close to the Roche limit, even at 80,000 kilometers.
like here. It is 20,000 kilometers away. Let us land on Africa.
Never mind, 27,000 kilometers or 20, I don't know. Whatever.
Whoop.
Hi.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's a lot closer than I thought.
So,
But there it is.
that might be a problem. That actually looks like, like the Death Star looming over the planet.
Yep.
True.
I have no idea how we're still alive. Like, it's that close and it hasn't really done anything yet. Now it's just I've got it just kind of moving across the sky here. Now you get to see what it's like. Okay, you're chilling out. You're hanging out in Africa, the moon, crossing the sky. Very large. Like, all right, family, you can have your own space as well, okay?
True.
You're not coming to the gatherings anymore. Please stop.
That's funny.
Okay, let's speed things up over here and see where the surface temperature
A full moon probably brightens up the sky to make it look like a twilight night or some shit.
and everything goes. Again, family, still very static. Still have
Yeah, if you get too much closer, it's gonna reach Earth's Roche limit and then get torn apart and shit before it even hits it.
hasn't blown up the planet or anything like that. That's good.
And the fragments are gonna hit it anyway, but still.
That's good.
But Gray, how's the water depth doing?
Still going up, slower, but it is going up. Ice thickness is going up too. But again, the surface temperature has completely kind of stabilized nowadays. It's really not that bad. Composition-wise, like 8% of the people insta-died from that. They may have just had a heart attack from realizing how close family is nowadays. All right, again, we're gonna go ahead and wait until family is at its smallest part of the orbit over here. Right around over here or so. It is less than 20,000 kilometers from the Earth.
Yeah, that's pretty close, not gonna lie.
15. I am highly concerned at this point. Like, that thing is
It's getting dangerously close now to Earth's Roche limit. It's gonna reach it. I didn't know it. Really soon here.
freakishly close right now. Even at its farthest distance, it's 31,000. Okay. Still
Get me way
alive.
around, way around.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Yes, good.
This is what I do
Temperature
to
of the
Samantha
planet.
sometimes.
Holding. Faster. Good. Okay,
It looks like a
everything's still
Holy
stable. Everything is totally fine. I mean, if
Somehow very stable,
you
jeez.
get down to the surface of
Yeah.
the Earth, it may not look fine. We can go check this out. Again, at its closest point, we're going to
I wanna see
land,
that.
I don't know where we are. I think we're in the middle of the ocean right now.
Yeah, I'd say so. My goodness.
That ain't good. This is like
Yeah,
something
that
out of
ain't
the
good at all.
sci-fi channel at this point. Like, the moon takes up most of your field of view.
Oh my god, the one from the moon from Zelda. Oh my.
Oh my
You're
god.
looking at the
that's
sky
spooky.
now. Okay, 10,000 kilometers away. I had to
That looks a lot, very, very close to Earth's roche limit. Let's see.
look it up. The Earth's diameter is 12,756 kilometers. So there is now less than an Earth away from the family. I'm gonna go ahead and
That's crazy.
slow things way down because at this point, you
It
would
has to be in
think
the roche limit now, or at least in the next time you move it closer.
that bad things are gonna start happening, right? Like it has to. Hey.
Also, I noticed that the moon's orbit looks more circular now.
Hey. Everyone all right? Everyone fine? I mean, no. Like, you know, we're still at 84.9% life.
Well, we're just about at the point where the moon reaches the Earth's roche limit and then starts tearing itself apart.
Likelihood. So that has definitely gone down.
Never mind, we just reached that point.
Oh no! We have
Okay. It officially
Likelihood.
reached the Earth's roche limit and is now tearing itself apart.
we have a problem. We have an instantaneous
Ow, 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 ow.
problem. The family's coming apart. Vin Diesel is in fact ripping the family apart.
Yep.
And it landed right in the middle of South America and Africa. Florida is unscathed, fortunately. Ah, yes, nothing quite like being 2,500 degrees Celsius in the middle of South America. The atmospheric pressure has changed. The gas pressure has definitely changed. Look at the swath of liquid, of like, the liquid
What in the world?
depth change. Because all of the liquid here started to evaporate very, very quickly. So like, you know, it's still a kilometer deep, but you go up a little bit and it drops down to the more appropriate 5.5 kilometers deep. Oh, no.
It literally tore itself
Oh, it's kind of
apart.
smiling.
Yeah.
See, it's like a little smiley face.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
With a mustache.
So we have learned so
Yeah.
far that moving from, you know, like 15,000 to 10,000 kilometers, that was the death zone right there. That is the zone of instantaneous sadness. How sad, you might be asking? Almost every single person is gone. The
Wow.
likelihood
I mean, I'm not really that surprised, but still.
is 3%. So I have slowed things down substantially. Now, right now, the gas cover is going to be moving across the entire planet because, you know, all of the liquid right now is vaporizing. What's the average surface temperature of the Earth right now? Hey, Vin Diesel, how you doing, man? It's like,
Well, it's 239 degrees Celsius. Not great.
okay, we're
Yeah, I'd say so. My goodness.
moving at 28 seconds a second, and you can see how fast the Venus-like cloud of mist is covering Vin Diesel.
It literally is like Venus now. That's crazy.
Everyone on the backside over here, Australia, you're gonna be the last to go. I'm pretty sure. So, a couple of the fragments from the family are now also orbiting around Earth. I don't know if they're eventually going to be striking Earth. They are dangerously close. There's little particulates over here, like these fragments that happen to be moving at, oh, I don't know, 25 kilometers a second.
That's crazy. Not, I mean, a lot of things in space move faster than that, but still.
That are also coming toward Earth. Yeah, here come the fragments. Okay. The fragments are getting kind of close. This fragment does look like it's inevitably going to impact the surface. It is going to impact the surface.
Yeah, it is.
Will it be by Australia? That is the real question I have. I've got good news and bad news. The good news is that those fragments have not, in fact, impacted with the Earth yet. The bad news is that the family's heating up a lot. Like the average temperature
Yeah, like, when is it gonna finally tear itself apart completely? Because that shit's crazy.
is now 600 degrees Celsius, and it's only going up over time very, very quickly. We did, in fact, have more impacts.
Also, I see that the moon is now, or I guess family in this case, is not only tearing itself apart, but now it's becoming more of an egg shape rather than its original spherical shape.
It was not at Australia. I repeat,
Look at it, it's literally stretched.
Australia is still fine. Okay.
And Australia's
So
still
far-
fine. That's crazy.
We still have family. It's still there. There's not a ton of it, but it is okay. Now, if I got down on the Earth over here, how big would family be?
Very.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's not ominous at all.
It does have a certain evil look to it when it's glowing red across the sky.
Look at how fast it moves. And also, yeah, it's definitely an evil look.
Vomiting out its different particles. Oh, see, there it goes. It's setting. Problem is, you don't know while it's setting if it's going to run into the other side of the planet. All right.
That's true.
This is probably just going, well, I know it's going to make matters worse, but we have to do it. So right now, it has stayed about 10,000 kilometers from Earth. So we're going to reduce this down to 5,000.
Oh my god. That is not. That is way
I
too
don't
much.
think that orbit is going to keep it alive. We got to slow things way down for this. Now, on the coldest area of Vin Diesel, it's negative 57 degrees Celsius. That's not too bad. Okay, there goes family. Family is moving. Things are fine.
Really
Life likelihood is resting at 7%, dropping rapidly.
And it just started dropping.
Okay, this is where it gets really bad, because it's going to basically angle grind the planet, like as it touches it over here.
It's about to run into
Here
it.
we go. Yep,
Boom.
that's beginning to rub. We'll go ahead and slow things down a little bit more.
30 seconds per second. That's crazy.
You know what they say? Rubbing is racing. 3,700 degrees Celsius, where it just hit. You can
That's what I do
watch
to your
as the
carpet
liquid
sometimes.
is gone.
Okay, wow, Nightmare, wow. You really had to go there, didn't you?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Immediately, wherever family touches. Okay, you know what?
Geez.
I think it's gonna be okay though. I think there's still gonna be some family left after this. Now it is vomiting chunks a lot. There is like a lot of
literally scraping itself all over the earth. It's like, here, come here, Earth, come here.
popcorn flying off of family. They are starting to impact different areas of the planet. Can't actually tell where Australia is right now because the entire planet is covered in mist. Is anyone still alive? No. Okay, I thought that family was going to make it past the orbit. It is actually going further
And now it's engulfing the moon, or I guess family in this case.
and further and further and further and boop.
And
So
just like
now it
that,
has fully
family's
impacted,
gone.
and the flames of Ragnarok are starting to reverberate through the planet.
And also, Earth has Venus's atmosphere now. Wow, that's crazy.
It had gotten up to about 20,000 degrees Celsius. I love how there's just a random sunspot appearing down here now. So the question I have is, after this horrifying incident of becoming far too close to your family, can the Earth like recover if enough time goes by? Like if we just let things go here, okay? And then see, you know, all the flaming death is gone.
I think the chances of it recovering are pretty low at this point.
Okay, the months are passing.
Then again, Earth can recover from a lot of shit, so I don't know.
Years, look at the temperature. Temperature is returning. The temperature is
Okay,
coming down
that's a good
slowly but surely. The life likelihood is going up. Not by much. You know, we're in the 10,000ths of a percent or whatever at this point. But
Wow.
all right, a little faster. Can we get to 1% life likelihood? Can we do that?
It's
a little
going down.
Now, the problem is I don't know how much is left of our atmosphere. Also, most of the liquid was removed. We're just losing liquid depth over time. Now, the reason that we are losing liquid depth is because, you know, the liquid is slowly moving across the rest of the planet again. So I've moved things along hundreds and hundreds of years. Vin Diesel never recovered. I find it interesting that the water slowly does urinate to the southern part of the globe and then just gets slurped back up. I went ahead and removed the atmosphere. It's real bad. There is water.
That's horrible.
It exists on half of the planet and not on the other half of the planet. and there's no grass or anything. It is just a barren wasteland. Well, I think that this shows us that if you get too close to your family, your life likelihood drops to almost 0. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed this episode.
That's crazy. That's crazy. My goodness. Well, we learn something new every day, don't we?
Yep.
Well, either way, that's it for us for now. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, be sure to join me in the video.
Yes, we did, babe.
Yeah. You want to stay awesome? Remember, I am back.
Peace.
Alright? Bye for now.